We're going to get started today with some hot seat rankings. The coaches right now in danger of losing their jobs the most. Of course, already saw one coach get fired in Giants head coach Ben McAdoo. We start with number 5, Titans head coach Mike Mularkey. The Titans continue to head in the wrong direction, Mitchell.
I think they head in the wrong direction because they don't quite know what they want to be yet. I mean, we've seen like Marcus Mariota when he came out of the draft, Tom. This was a guy drafted 2nd overall, a lot of hype, and he has not panned out. And I'm a believer in Marcus Mariota. I'm a believer in the talent, and I think you have to look at a guy like Mike Mularkey, who, with 2 great running backs, their offense is still not getting it done. I mean, they even drafted a guy high in Corey Davis, and it's, once again, this team is not getting it done, and that defense is, well, I think they're a below-average defense, to say the least.
I know a lot of Titans fans. I'm friends with them, and they are not pleased with the job that Mike Mularkey has done, especially on the offensive side of the ball. All those pieces, it's not clicking in the way that it should.
As my dad would say, he's a bunch of malarkey.
Nice. All right, we'll keep it rolling now to number 4, Dirk Koetter, another coach who was the OC who had been promoted to work with their young quarterback that isn't working out.
It's not working out, and again, he was promoted, what was that, about a year ago, to be 2 years ago, to be the head coach now for Jameis Winston. I mean, here's another quarterback. Jameis Winston drafted number 1 overall, and he has not been eating up W's, far from it. Keeps turning the ball over. The Buccaneers right now are sitting at 4-10, and I think this was a team that we had a lot of high hopes for. I mean, guys like Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, Doug Martin, O.J. Howard. I mean, they have a talented offense, and they're not meshing. This team isn't getting it done. And then you look at the defense. The defense, I think you could argue, has been the worst defense in the NFL, basically ranked last in every single statistical category there is possible. I think you have to look at Dirk Koetter and say, yeah, sorry, man, you're out.
And keep it rolling now to number 3, head coach John Fox of the Chicago Bears. Been some buzz that Fox's staff expects him to be fired. Kind of seems likely at this point, especially if the Bears don't really close the year strong, which I don't think they're going to.
And I don't think they are either. And I mean, I think the other buzz is there's at times like when I watch John Fox on the side, like I almost wonder if he is buzzed, Tom. Like this guy has only been good. The only time he's ever been good in his entire career is with a guy by the name of Peyton Manning. And
I could be good.
And exactly, I could be good with Peyton Manning. You could be good with Peyton Manning. Producer Harris could be good with Peyton Manning. When Peyton's throwing 55 touchdowns, guess what? You throw just about anybody out there, you're going to look good with Peyton Manning in that offense. But besides that year, tell me what John Fox has done. Tell me.
All right, so Fox, number 3 on our hot seat rankings. We'll go to number 2, and at number 2 it is Chuck Pagano of the... Seems very likely, given the new GM, the awful year, and Jim Irsay's constant flirting with other coaches, that Pagano's on the way out after this year.
Yeah, and I will say I think Pagano's kind of getting the short end of a stick here, and the only reason why I say that is he played this entire season without his franchise quarterback, Andrew Luck. But at the end of the day, I think you have to take some sort of accountability for the reason why Andrew Luck has not been healthy. That offensive line is not bolstered. That offensive line has basically gotten every quarterback behind that team hurt. They're not running the ball effectively. This defense is not getting the job done in a division that I think coming into the season, a lot of people thought the Colts were the favorite. Sorry, Pagano. You're probably going to be on the way out.
Pagano there at number 2. We'll move into number 1 on our updated NFL hot seat rankings. Marvin Lewis, and it has been a strange scenario here with Marvin and the Bengals with the report that he's going to step away, and then Marvin saying he hasn't made up his mind yet. So that's where we're at with the Bengals and Marvin Lewis. We don't know, but he's probably going to be gone.
Yeah, I think he's going to be gone. I mean, when you look at regular season, I mean, this guy has a winning percentage of, I think it's .525, or actually has a pretty decent winning percentage in the regular season. But we look at that postseason record, and as we all know, he's never won a game in the postseason, 0-7. And yes, as you said, there is some drama, but you're somewhat of a Bengals fan. I'm not really sure, Tom. I mean, for you, I know you've been kind of excited about this one, and I'm kind of excited to see somebody else there. There's a few other recommendations I think the Bengals should go with.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there with the Bengals. Marvin Lewis seems on his way out. That would frankly, I think, be the right decision there. So we'll get to our list in a minute here. But Mitchell, when it comes to Marvin Lewis, what do you think the Bengals could try and do in that scenario if they do move on for him?
If they're going to go with other coaches, I mean, you always look at the Patriots coaches with, oh man, his name is escaping me right now.
Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels, there you go. I mean, you could also look at like a guy like Pat Shurmur, I'm a big fan of. It's just ultimately, I think when you look at this Bengals team, they've lost so many games. Yes, I don't think Andy Dalton's the answer, but this is a team who does have a lot of offensive pieces. And then when you're not playing guys like your first overall pick, John Ross, for most of the year when he was healthy, I think you need to look at guys like Marvin Lewis and just he has to take some sort of the blame. I'd almost be interested to see if Hugh Jackson comes back. I mean, Hugh Jackson was a guy
the Bengals won. by the way.
I mean, he had a lot of success with the Bengals, and he was very good there. And then he went to the Browns, and yeah, it definitely hasn't panned out there, but we'll see.
All right, well, here are your top 5 coaches on the hot seat. Marvin Lewis there at number 1. The Indianapolis Colts head coach Chuck Pagano checks in at number 2. John Fox at number 3. Dirk Koetter at number 4. And Mike Mularkey at number 5. You could see some other coaches, maybe a Jack Del Rio potentially if the Raiders continue to struggle. So we'll update that as the year goes on. I think if the Titans continue to lose, it might be a big issue for Mike Mularkey in particular.
No, I would be surprised. I mean, anytime you see a team who's 8-5 playing a team who's 3-10 and you're the underdog, I think that just speaks volumes of how overrated you truly are.